Well, hello. And this week I'm on vacation in beautiful Maui. You can see it in the background. That's actually the ocean right there. You got the trees over there. So what I want to talk today is one interesting thing, like a reflection. I was talking to my daughter, my youngest daughter. She's 14. It's going to be 15 this year, but she's 14, and she was asking me about investment in general. So the question arose, why do people not know when to invest and when to take out their investments? What's this fear and what's this missing out thing? So I was explaining to her, and if you've read a lot of psychology books, you probably already know this, but if you haven't, that's what I wanted to touch a little bit about. So one of the main things that happens is why people, when they invest, they don't expect their money to be lost in any way. So the drawdowns are obviously not expected. So why is that the case? Well, because not a single person on this planet, probably, unless they do it for some reason, is a masochistic thing to do, but everyone puts their money expecting a return of money back, right? Some kind of a return. The question is how fast or how slow it can happen, but everyone expects a return. So with that assumption, all of us put the money into the market expecting a return, and then when it actually doesn't go our way, when the market drops for whatever reason, everyone then is rationalizing, well, eventually the market will go up. So I don't want to prove myself wrong, and I don't want to prove it so that I have to experience the pain, and I don't want to then get out from the trade. So they're still trying to hold on to the trade for as long as they can, because that lets them to be right. Because they put the money to make the money, right? And if the money didn't make any money, if there was no return, that means that they were wrong to begin with, and nobody wants to be wrong. Especially because market has no boundary. Meaning that you can start putting money in, and you can stop putting money in and get them out at will. Nobody's forcing you to do that, other than, if there's a margin call, obviously, then you're forced to do it, but otherwise, nobody's forcing you to do it. So it's up to you to actually get the money out. And that's one of the major reasons that people get into this downward spiral where they put the money in, markets start going down, it basically goes against them, against what they anticipated what will happen. And then the main problem happens. They're rationalizing, okay, if I just hold on just enough, then it gets back out from the hole and it will make me money, right? So they keep holding on to that money as it goes down. In some cases, some severe cases, they actually try to put more money in, what is called throwing good money against bad money, because there is an unrealized loss already in there. And that's I think the major problem, that because it's unrealized, that's when they don't understand that it's still gonna hurt. Still gonna hurt either way, if you realize it or unrealized. But as long as you didn't realize it, as long as you didn't sell that position, you kind of consider that to be whole. You still consider it to be good. And I think that's the main fallacy of this whole approach. That is why you need rules to actually tell you, okay, it's time to get out. I was wrong, it's time to get out. Because there's no bottom. You don't even know when the market's going to stop. Like, I got a call the other day, last week, from my friend, and he was trying to put some money into the market, saying, is it the bottom already? Well, my answer was like, do you want to hear the answer that money managers kind of people tell you? Or do you want to hear the answer, like a truth answer? And he's like, okay, give me the both. Well, the money manager said, oh, hey, yeah, it looks like it's reaching bottom. Historically, every March, in the middle of March, that's the bottom for the last 50 years. So I think it could be a bottom right now for the correction. But what's the truthful answer? Well, the truthful answer is, I have no clue. I have no clue if it's reached bottom or not. I mean, the odds that it's reached bottom is pretty high, but is it really bottom? Who knows? I don't know. So like, put it at your own risk, put the money in, but if somebody tells you that they know exactly at the bottom, they're lying. They're lying to you because nobody actually really knows. There are odds of predicting some things, or not even predicting, but more of anticipating, so the risk reward ratio is good, but is the bottom? Nobody knows. So again, to make that story shorter, so as I'm talking to my daughter, and then I'm saying, okay, so what happens is that when the market goes down by 10%, they're like, okay, I will just hold on. It's just a correction. Everything's fine. I'm going to recover. And then, so they don't get out from the position. And then, market goes down by another 10%. Then they start rationalizing in a different way, saying, well, now, what's the point of getting out altogether? I would just turn my blind eye at it at all. Like, I will pretend that it's not even there. And then the market goes down by another 10%. Then they're panicking. Like, what the hell am I doing? Am I actually, the pain is so high that at some point, 30, 40%, or whatever it is, at some point, they will probably just finally say, okay, screw that, I'm done. Get me out, whatever the price, I don't care. Basically, the pain exceeds the pain of not being right. So then they get out. But when they get out, usually that's what happens, that everyone else gets out at the same time. And as everyone gets out, then the market finally finds the bottom. And when it finds the bottom, it starts to go up. And then the same people who just got out, they will say, oh my God, I'm now missing the whole move up. But because they experienced this whole pain, because of the huge pain that they got in, they don't want to now get back in. So they miss on the way up. So they basically found the bottom by getting out of the bottom. And then they start missing on the way up because they're so painful for them, the previous experience that they experienced when they were getting out, that they don't want to get back in. And then finally, let's say market will return back to 10% of the previous drawdown. And then they find out, okay, I have this fear that I'm going to miss this whole move, and now get back in. They get back in, and the market drops again. And it whipsaws it yet again, this example. And with another 5% correction, they'll be freaking out so much, and then everyone will say, from the same crowd, they will say, I don't trust the market. It's there to get me. Never ever put the market in the market, put the money in the market, just do something else, do the real estate, or maybe cryptocurrency is a better way to do it instead of the putting it in the market. They don't realize that it's not even the fault of the market. It's not the fault of real estate or anything else. It's the fault of the psychology that they were looking at it in a different manner. They were looking at it as they have to be right. They were looking at it from the perspective that they don't have to miss the move. They were looking at it from the perspective of it's too much and based on an emotion getting out. So again, this short video, hopefully it's short now, I'm trying to say that it's better to put it in the different terms. It's better to have a certain boundary, rule, or a set of rules, obviously, where you know when to get in and you know when to get out, regardless of what you do. If you do it through the short-term moves, long-term moves, the investor type, whoever you are, don't do it without rules. You have to have rigid rules, because the market, it has no boundary. It can go down almost to the zilch, or it can go up to the moon. We never know when it's going to happen and how it's going to do it. So the only way you can protect yourself is by having rules. So that's my main kind of message for this video while I'm on vacation, because the reason why I'm on vacation and I can do this is because all my systems are traded systematically. I don't have to look at them daily. The only time I'm looking at them daily is if I need to check if my orders were filed into the market. That's the only reason why I'm looking at it, but otherwise I don't have to do anything to actually run it. So I'm gonna wrap it up today, and I'll see you next week. Back from work. All right? See you.